Thank you, Petyo. And hi, everyone. So my name is Zuzana Barinkova. I'm the product manager here at Resco. And today I'd like to go through the latest updates we did during the last quarter of 2021 within Resco Innovations. So let me start with the agenda. So I'd like to talk about UI improvements, about Resco Houston improvements. I'd like to introduce RealWare HMT1, and I'd also like to touch topics of Resco Smart Worker as well as Houston application. So let's start with the UI improvements, what we managed to do in the last quarter of 2020. So we managed to beautify some of the default templates. All templates now have sections so that it should be much more easier to navigate within the application. And some templates even got a new set of icons. So we can see those templates listed on the left. So we are not stopping here. UI improvements will continue throughout 2021. So there should be more updates on this topic after Q1. And again, if you are willing to join the UI research, you are more than welcome to do so. The next are Houston updates. As you know, Houston is our AR remote collaboration tool that enables remote experts to visually guide field workers or people who are in need to fix a problem or an issue, as you can see on a short demo video on the right. Until now, it was only available on iOS for mobiles. So after the last winter release, we made it partially available for Android as well, which means that it's available without the AR capabilities, which means that if you are initiating a call from Android, it will be a standard video call. But if you're accepting a call on Android from an AR-enabled iOS device, you will be able to draw and use the AR capabilities because it's always about the device that's initiating the call. We want to have full Android support after Q1, so more on this after Q1. The next on Houston, we added the ability to call from the web. Until now, we were only able to accept calls on the web. Now we are also able to initiate these calls. The way it's done is it's in the same fashion as within the standard mobile application. So you go into the either inspection form or a standard entity form, and you click on the hamburger button in the top right corner, and you select Houston command. This is obviously only available for Resco Cloud. We also managed to make Houston available for standard entity forms. Until now, Houston was only available for inspection forms. The only difference is that when you are enabling Houston in Woodford, the Houston command gets enabled into inspection forms automatically, while with standard entity forms, you need to do it manually for each entity. So for example, if I want to use Houston command for account forms, I need to go into Woodford in form editor and to do it manually. Let me show a short video demonstration. So this is my application. And let's say I want to initiate Houston calls from contact forms. So I go into Woodford, into my project, and I go into contact entity and into the form editor. And I scroll the top bar to the right. And I select edit option. And there you can see list of commands. So I choose Houston, I double click, I save the changes. And these changes should be then reflected in the application. So let's publish it. And let's refresh the browser. And now we can see the change: contacts, contact form, and the Houston command that directs me into the list of the contacts. Another option that we implemented was improved drawing precision. The way we did it was through what we call plane detection, which means that the AR scene is better understood or better perceived, and the surfaces and planes are much better detected, which means that the AR annotations now can stick to the objects much more better than before. This is currently available for iOS, but it will be also available on Android after Q1. So you can see the visualization of those planes on the image right there, which obviously you cannot see in the application, but just to give you an idea how the scene is read. And the last improvement, we added another layer of authentication when enabling Houston. Until now, you only had to input Agora key into boot. For now, you also need to add app certificate ID to make it more secure. So what's in the pipeline for Q1? As I mentioned, we want to have full Android support. We want to have the ability to use predefined arrows, drawing both ways, which means that at the moment, only the person who receives the call has the drawing functionality available, and we want to have it both ways, and also improve the UI. So this is the example of the new UI visual for the web application. We got rid of the sidebar and we replaced it with a small bar on the bottom that you can move in case it obstructs your view. And also the notes window on the right will be able to minimize as well. So these were the Houston updates. Now Resco on RealWare. First, let me introduce what's HMT1. HMT stands for head-mounted tablet. So it's basically a ruggedized wearable that's fully voice operated. It's an Android device that's water, dust, and drop resistant. Despite the fact that it's fully voice operated, it really works well in noisy environments. It can be disinfected, which can be used in some industries such as pharmaceutical, and it can be mounted to a hard helmet so that it meets all kinds of security criteria. And what the user can see is basically a screen of a 7-inch tablet. So what are the use cases of Resco on RealWare? We are mainly focusing on digital workflows, digital visual instructions or inspections or incident reporting, as well as knowledge sharing and the remote video calls as well. So what are the current capabilities? Our apps natively work on RealWare, but currently in limited version, let's say. So for example, for inspections, only a certain number of components currently work with the voice commands, which is option set, lookup, single line of text, whole number, as well as static image. What's also currently working are Houston standard video calls without the AR capabilities. But for Q1, we want to make most of what's available in mobile application to be capable also in the RealWare as well. Obviously, just functionalities that are relevant for a wearable voice-operated device. So this is a short video demonstration how our app works. So basically, all clickable items have a number. So to navigate within the application, you, for example, to go into templates, you would say select item 4. And the same for the list of templates. So now we are in the questionnaire form, and you go into account, which is a lookup. So we start spelling. Then you close the keyboard and you select item 14. So now you've selected the account. Then you have option set, which you navigate through with number commands. Then single line of text or additional comments. So automatically dictation is turned on. Once you are happy with the text, you accept it. Then whole numbers, again, dictation, close keyboard, and again, option set. As you can see, also color coding. You can use color coding, static image, as well as creating reports, sending reports, and so on. So there should be more updates on this after Q1, as I mentioned. So what are the benefits of using Resco on HMT? HMT was developed as a knowledge sharing platform. It gives you the ability to document events, so you can take photos or record videos through voice commands, and you can then access the library of these videos or photos, again, through your voice. So you can, for example, zoom an image and then follow the instructions using both of your hands, as well as watching a video while following the instructions. With Resco inspections, you will be able to access these visual digital workflows for hands-free scenarios and all kinds of challenging environments that this device is suited for. And the addition to that will be Houston remote video calls. So we believe that it's really a strong combination for a frontline worker to succeed in his day-to-day tasks. So why did we bring RealWare on board? What we are trying to do is that we want companies to be able to equip their workers with the best software, hardware, and knowledge. By software, we mean our current or future applications. By hardware, we mean all kinds of devices that we support, the standard ones, or wearables such as RealWare. And by knowledge, we mean Resco Houston and Resco inspections in form of instructions. So we are basically giving companies the ability to build a smart worker of their own per what are their needs. So it can be a combination of standard devices together with wearables such as RealWare, as well as Resco Houston and Resco inspections. And there is a large number of use cases and industries where these could be used, for example, healthcare, manufacturing, energy, construction, pharmaceutical, and many more. So now we've talked about the smart worker, and the last thing is an application that would store and share all the knowledge for the frontline worker. And that's why we decided to come up with Houston application. Because we know also from the research that lack of knowledge, or what's called a tribal knowledge within the company, sets various kinds of limitations in terms of performance, company success, innovation, or errors, downtimes, low production or effectivity, lack of qualified staff to perform a job, and obviously as well unhappy customers. So all these are problems that are very related to the lack of know-how or expertise. And we want Resco Houston to be an application that would capture, store, and share this knowledge. We want workers to be able to do what we call self-service instructions. So to a large extent, to try to be able to help themselves. And then if they are not able to fix an issue, then to contact the expert. So that the best experts would be safe for the most complex issues. And we also want the ability for an external user to access it, so a customer or machine operator. And we believe that this would really equip the frontline worker with the necessary knowledge that will be always at his fingerprints, and it will make maybe even less experienced workers or less trained workers to be able to go into the field and to do their job to the best they could. So you will hear more about this in the future. This is currently in discovery phase. So again, if you want to maybe give your feedback, or if you want to be part of this new Resco product, feel free to let us know. The email is the same, it's innovations@resco.net. So we'll be more than happy to discuss this with you in the future. And the one last thing from me is the poll. So Yuri, I will ask you to run the poll.
So, final poll of the day, launching it right now. Which of today's innovation topics are most relevant to you? And this one's finally a multiple choice, I hope. So feel free to select more than just one and let us know. So we have some first answers coming in. Let's give it a couple of more seconds. Okay, I think that we have most of the answers in. So I'm closing the poll and sharing with you the results. So we have UI improvements, 75%. I think it's quite a consistent theme in today's webinar. Houston as a feature updates, 36%. Resco and RealWare, 21. Resco Smart Worker, 29. As well as Houston Knowledge App, 29.
Okay, great. Thanks everyone for your input and feedback. So that's all from me. So thanks very much for listening. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll try to answer these in the Q&A section. And thank you. So over to you, Judy.